Hello, Michelle here. Welcome back to our 5-day design workshop, where I'm kind of giving you the foundational pieces as you learn how to design your own SVG files. Yesterday, we talked all about the types of software that's available for you to be able to create your own designs. Today, I'm really excited to dive into where do you get the ideas for your designs? Because y'all, over the years, I've created thousands of designs and I still have an ongoing list of stuff that I want to create. And so I'm really excited to be able to share with you my exact strategy of how to never run out of design ideas. Now, the first question that is always asked to me is, where do you get your ideas from? How do you know what to design? And the thing is, the answer is all around you. And it's going to be a little bit different for everybody because everybody has a different, unique life experience, right? What's around me might not be around you. So my kids are involved in baseball and 4-H, and so my designs might be more geared towards that. Your kids might be involved in bowling, or they might be involved in wrestling, or maybe you don't have kids, or maybe you're doing a custom order. The thing is that you can utilize the things that are all around you on a regular basis to be able to come up with your design ideas. So think of things like the music that you listen to, the magazines you like to read. Do people still read magazines? I do, but that could be a place that you're looking at pop culture of what's trendy right now, like llamas and plants and things like that. Social media. Social media is a huge resource when looking up what are trendy things that people are looking for to put on their cups and their shirts and their hats. And those are perfect items for you to create SVG files for. You can look at what's happening in movies or your own personal interests. A huge place to start that has a plethora of ideas are holidays and seasons. So things like Valentine's Day, summer vacation, back to school. Christmas is huge year round. You can even use nature outside. There's so much inspiration when you just look around. And so that is the best place to gather ideas of what you want to be creating for. Now, the thing is, when you're creating and collecting these ideas, you're not collecting them to say, okay, I'm going to make my design look exactly like that, or I'm going to replicate exactly what they've done. You're using those topics as a way to be inspired to put your own personal spin on whatever that idea was. But here's the thing. You've always got to write it down because in the moment it feels like, oh, I'm never going to forget that. That's amazing. I've got to do that. But I promise as soon as you go to the next thing that you're doing or you get back home or you sit down in front of your computer, you're going to be like, what was that again? What did I think was such an awesome idea? So always write it down. Me personally, I like to keep a running list on my phone of ideas, but maybe you're not a phone person and you would rather have pen and paper. That's okay too. I also keep a pen and paper in my purse at all times, and so sometimes I jot ideas down there as well. The most important thing is when you get those ideas, when you're inspired by something that you see in the world around you, make sure to write it down. Now, I wanted to share specifically what works for me when I'm coming up with my list of ideas of what to create. Now, first and foremost, I always take design suggestions from members who are inside our Club Chaos membership. They always get first priority for all the things that I design. So that's number one, what works for me. The second thing that I like to do is I like to group them by topic. So rather than bouncing around and saying, okay, now I'm going to do baseball, now I'm going to do hiking, now I'm going to go do hairdresser designs. Rather than bouncing around like that, I like to stay in one topic area. So when I'm brainstorming, I like to do everything around Christmas, and then come up with maybe 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50 design ideas specific to Christmas. Now, I might not sit down and design all 50 of those right then, but now I've got a nice bank for when I'm ready to sit down and design. So that's the first thing that I like to do, is I like to brainstorm by topic. The second thing that I like to do is when I'm actually designing things, I like to design them by theme, so that, again, I'm not bouncing around. I'm not doing one Christmas design and then one fall design and then one summer design and then one baseball design. I'm not bouncing around like that. The workflow goes much faster and much smoother when you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to do all my Christmas things for right now. Or maybe not all your Christmas things, but all the files I create right now will be Christmas, because then you're already using, the same elements. You've already designed your Christmas tree, and you can use that in several different files. Or maybe you've already designed your Santa hat, and you can reuse that same Santa hat, just repurpose it in a couple different ways. It will really speed up your workflow. So that's that second thing, is design by theme. Or I guess third thing, because number one, I always take my membership, my members' design suggestions first. Number two, I like to brainstorm by topic. Number three, I like to design by theme. And then number four, like I already mentioned, I always keep a running list. As soon as that running list gets low, I know, okay, I need to sit down and brainstorm some more. Or, okay, I need to be a little bit more aware of my surroundings so I can add to that list. That running list is so important, because the least creative time is when I sit down to stare at my computer and actually start designing. Usually I already have an idea in my head of what I want things to look like. So that running list is an important part of the entire process. Now, this always ends up happening. At some point, you're going to get designer's block. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to say, I just don't have any ideas. I don't know what I want this to look like. I don't know how I want to create this. And so I want to give you 3 tips for when you're feeling stuck. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like I have too many ideas. So here are a few things that you can do. Number 1, take a break. Walk away from it. Don't sit there and force yourself to try to keep doing something if it's just not flowing. It'll only make it worse. So that's most important. Take a break. Number 2, go for a walk. Get outside. There is something about being outside. You can look at your surroundings, look at the trees, look at the grass, look at the flowers. Maybe you're not in an area that has those things, so maybe you're just looking at people watching, but get your brain off of whatever it is you were trying to design for that you were feeling stuck with. Go for a walk, and that will help kind of loosen up those brain cells. And then number 3, and this is probably the most difficult one to do, but the one that I notice will get me out of feeling stuck the most, is get offline. Yes, you heard me right. Get offline. Don't go on social media. Take a social media break for a little bit, even if it's just for the evening. But when you get offline, that gives your own brain space and power to be able to come up with your own ideas, rather than feeling inundated with everything that you're seeing in the online space. Okay, so if you're feeling stuck, do one of those 3 things, and I can guarantee you'll feel like you're in a much better place to be able to sit down and brainstorm or design the next time that you sit down. And then the most important thing I want to tell you, when you're feeling like you want to come up with something really clever, really unique, and you're like, I just don't know what to do, start with what you know. What are you already familiar with? What are you already involved in? And if it's super, super niche, that's okay, because I can guarantee there are other people that love that exact same thing. So start with what you know, whatever that is, and I guarantee you will feel more successful, and it will flow a lot easier when you start with what you know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I want to hear in the comments below what you're going to design for first. So comment below what types of things you want to design for first, what types of things are you most interested in, and then I would love it if you would connect with me over on my website at www.mydesignsandthechaos.com and on all the social media platforms at My Designs in the Chaos. If you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out, info@mydesignsandthechaos.com, and I cannot wait to hear what you end up designing for first. I'll see you back tomorrow with our day number 3. Bye!